Hey guys, so I know that all of you have at least 1 to 3 goals written down in your bullet journal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take each one of those goals individually and we're going to turn them into SMART goals. So SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I had to look at my notes real quick. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And if you make each one of your goals fit this SMART framework, then you're going to be able to reach them because it's a way of breaking them down so that they're measurable and attainable. So let's start with specific. So when I'm talking about specific, you want to list the who, what, when, where, how, and why. So you're listing all the major parts of it. When we're talking about measurable, you're talking about, all right, how can I assess if I've met this goal? What are the tangible aspects of the goal that you can measure? All right, and then with attainable, pretty obvious, right? You want it to be an attainable goal. Me setting a goal to get to the Galapagos this summer is not attainable. It is not possible, right? So we're wanting to set attainable goals. Let's see, relevant. So the goal should be related to a specific change you want to see. So the goals are going to go back. Let me get our funnel here. So these goals are related to everything that's above it. They're basically built on all of these things. So they should be related to your why and your vision, why you want to get your kids outside more often, but they should also be addressing your buts and in order to meet these musts, right? So your goals are built on everything that we've talked about before. And then lastly, they need to be time-bound. So you need to have specific ideas of when you're going to be working on these goals and then also when you want to have met that goal. So let me give you one of mine from my journal. So one of mine is for my child to play more independently. So I have to get outside 3 times a week for 30 minutes. This is specific and it's also measurable. I can measure if I'm getting him outside for that amount of time and that frequently. And in order to make it attainable and also kind of meet those specific aspects, I'm going to give him a prompt. So for each one of these, I'm going to have at least 3 prompts in my head. And then I'm going to play with him for the first 10 minutes and then let him play after that. So for the first 10 minutes of this 30-minute period, I am going to play with him. Then I'm going to give him a prompt and he can go play by himself. During that next 20 minutes, if he starts to get bored and wants to play with me again, I'm going to give him another prompt. If it happens again, I'm going to give him another prompt. I have 3 prompts ready for him to be able to play and engage outside more independently. And then finally, I'm going to reassess after 3 months. So after 3 months of doing this 3 times a week, I'm going to reassess and see, okay, so in the beginning, I had to have 3, 4, 5 prompts within that 20-minute span in order to keep him entertained. Now, after 3 months, how many prompts am I using? Am I using 1 or 2? And so you're going to be able to actually see and measure if that is getting better. Here's another one. To not act so overwhelmed and frustrated. This is my overwhelmed, frustrated goal, right? So when outside, I will be calm and I will be mindful, okay? Easier said than done, right? Here, it's not really specific or measurable yet. So what I'm going to do to meet this goal and make it a SMART goal is I'm going to take 5 minutes before going outside. And that 5 minutes, I'm going to review my why, my vision, my musts, and my goals. So I'm going to take this notebook and review it 5 minutes before I go outside to make sure that I am in the right mindset in order to be outside with my kids and to not be stressed out or overwhelmed. And then another thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to pack and prepare the night before. Again, we're going to go into packing and preparing in the next module, but this is going to be part of my goal, and it's a skill that I'm not only going to learn, but I'm going to use consistently, right? And then finally, I am going to plan and put it in my planner. So I'm a bullet journaler. This works really well for me. It's a really free-form way of planning your days and your months and year and all that. And so I have these check boxes. So not only am I going to create a checkbox and a time frame for when I'm spending time outside with my kids, but I'm also going to give myself the planning time the night before and check that off my list. And I'm going to give myself the 5 minutes before to get my head in a good space for being outside with my kids so that I'm not overwhelmed. So your action step for today is to create SMART goals. So you guys can look at your notes and go over and make sure that your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Take at least one of your goals, break it up into a SMART goal, and then post it on our Facebook page so we can see the direction that you're headed, and specifically so we can help you and encourage you and hold you accountable as you're moving through this process. All right, I hope you guys are having a good one. Bye.